Tash, I've got to ask you about these growing comparisons between Blake Lively and Meghan Markle. So I have to give a shout out, by the way, to our friend Lady Colin Campbell, who has been doing amazing work on this whole story.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm diving into a story that's shaking Hollywood and royal circles alike. Meghan Markle and Blake Lively, two powerful women with immense influence, are now at the center of a major backlash. Both thought they could control the narrative, but guess what? It's backfiring spectacularly. What started as carefully crafted PR campaigns to boost their images has turned into a full-blown exposure of manipulation and media control.
On her own channel and also on X. But I was very taken by a post on X pointed out to me by Goth Loretta this week, who wrote, two women, two smear campaigns. One falsely accusing a man of sexual harassment, the other bullying a woman even after she was diagnosed with cancer and even targeting her children. Both use bots to attack, and then in reference to the Hollywood agency that Blake Lively and Meghan Markle both share, both belong to WME. And it really did get me thinking, Tash, that there are a lot of comparisons between the manipulative way that Blake Lively and Meghan Markle thought they would be able to win the media game, thought they would be able to, in Meghan's case, ruin Catherine and ruin Prince William, and in Blake Lively's case, ruin Justin Baldoni and the whole team at Wayfarer behind the movie It Ends With Us. And in both cases, it's blown up in their faces.
I've been following this case myself, and it's one of those things where I can understand the comparisons. Meghan wanted to be loved and adored, and when she wasn't, she then goes into victim mode. Blake has done something very similar with this, and it's the fact that she got backlash because of that film trail, because of the way she behaved on the red carpet and in interviews when she was meant to be promoting the film. And then all of a sudden it comes out because of this backlash, everything's Justin Baldoni's fault and it's I'm a victim. There's a smear campaign. And as we're beginning to see, as obviously now that all of this evidence has been uploaded by Justin Baldoni on that website, you're seeing that she's not quite an innocent victim. And the same thing happened with Meghan when the backlash. Exactly. And then with Meghan as well, when she started getting the backlash for treating people terribly, she became the victim. She's the one that's having the smear campaign put out against her. And much in that instance, I think that it's just a defense that some people use, that they gaslight everybody. They're the ones behaving like monsters, but actually, you know, the people they're accusing of are the innocent party.
But here's the reality. Victims don't wield media empires. Victims don't hire elite PR firms to manage their public image.
How did we get here? And why are people finally seeing through their games? Stick with me because this is going to be explosive. But before I get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the latest deep dives on media manipulation and celebrity scandals. Let's talk about a pattern we've seen over and over again in Hollywood and high society, the smear campaign strategy. And when things don't go their way, these celebrities shift the blame. Suddenly they become the victims, and the real victims, well, they get thrown under the bus. Meghan Markle, after failing to win over the British royal family, started a public crusade against them. First against Kate Middleton, then Prince William, and finally the entire monarchy.
And victims don't strategically plant stories to destroy their perceived rivals. This isn't survival. This is calculated manipulation.
This is the latest from Lady C on this, Tash, and I think it really is worth going into because she beautifully sort of brings together the two different cases. It is quite long, but I'll summarize it, so bear with me. Lady C writes, Prince Harry observed when he first met Meghan Markle that the stars aligned perfectly, and it's instructive to observe them swinging into line once more. Only this time, it's Taylor Swift doing a Meghan to Blake Lively, as she distances herself from her former best friend the way Meghan withdrew from Jessica Mulrooney when she was ensnared by Sasha Exeter using the colour card to advance herself in typical treacherous celebrity ladder climbing style. It's also instructive to see how the Daily Mail and other MSM publications are now confirming what my Hollywood bongo drums, God, I love Lady C, beat out some time ago, namely that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are feeling the pressure. They haven't yet revealed the whole ghastly truth, which is that the couple is in dire straits and under medical supervision, but they're getting there as crisis management publicist Jed Wallace sues her for $7 million, swelling the ranks of litigants who already include Wayfarer Studios, Jennifer Abel, Melissa Nathan, and Jamie Heath, as well as the much wronged Justin Baldoni. Those bongo drums are telling me that Blake Lively isn't the only Amber Turd who is beside herself with how her chickens are coming home to roost. Evidently, Meghan Markle is equally desperate, albeit less distraught, as she tries to implement WME's and Netflix's instructions to do all she can to turn her image around. But the press is no longer buying Meghan's lies the way it used to. Hence the widespread condemnation of her Instagram posting using Billie Eilish's name to present herself as a concerned, compassionate, loving empath when she is plainly an opportunist poseur who lacks restraint and the good sense to know when to shut up. What I and many others would like to know is, when did Meghan encounter the 15-year-old and her mother at Altadena? There is no photographic record of any such meeting. The area was closed to residents. Harry and Meghan were surrounded by officials and media the whole time. Where is the footage to prove this recollection, which seems to be so strikingly at variance with the fact of the circumstances? This story seems as tall as Harry in the high heels he sometimes wears to elevate himself. But the public are not as stupid as either of them. And she's rightfully being called out for not only being a disaster tourist, but also an inventive ghoul who cannot resist fabricating scenarios to prove how wonderful she is.
Meanwhile, Blake Lively's controversy revolves around her role in It Ends With Us, where she allegedly shifted the blame onto her co-stars and the production team when backlash hit. Coincidence? I don't think so. Here's where things get interesting. Both Meghan and Blake are backed by one of the most powerful agencies in the world, WME, William Morris Endeavour. This isn't just a talent agency, it's a media empire. They control narratives, push headlines, and silence critics. No one ever wondered why Meghan's controversies rarely make it to mainstream criticism, or why Blake was initially shielded from the backlash. It's all about who pulls the strings behind the scenes.
All of the while confirming to the discerning that she is the absolute opposite. Now, Tash, I'm sure you agree it was worth sharing all of those words of wisdom from Lady C, because she is so on this story. And it's fascinating, isn't it, when you think of the tentacles between both of these storylines, and they are just so similar.
Oh, they definitely are. As for Lady C, I mean, she's brilliant, as you know, Dan, and I love following her on Twitter. I'm so glad that she started getting more vocal on there. But there are similarities, as she perfectly put herself, and I myself, I love it that she's talking about the, her bongo drums, where she gets this information. She does hit it on the head. I mean, the fact that these two women are somehow treating other people badly, but are now desperately trying to make themselves out to be victims at the same time. And well, with Meghan, I mean, I think it's a little bit worse. She's actually using people that have been affected by some of the worst wildfires to ever hit California as a way to elevate and promote herself. Especially now, this seems to be two young teenage girls for self-promotion. But yeah, Lady C, as I said, I think she what can you say? I think she's said everything, really.
No, I totally agree. And look, all I'm going to say is that I know some of the people involved in the Justin Baldoni case, and they're good people. They are very, very good people. They are not liars. And I find it fascinating that Taylor Swift is even prepared to throw her best friend under the bus. But as Lady C says, there is loads of comparisons there, because Jessica Mulrooney is now out of Meghan Markle's life. She was dead to her, because these Hollywood celebrities do not want to be dragged down by even the slightest whiff of scandal if it doesn't personally involve them. But Tash, you mentioned Meghan using another teenager And I mean, it is so shocking. So you've got the teenager in the Billie Eilish or full Instagram video, right? Which is just cringe and horrible and yuck. But what has slipped much more under the radar?
But there's a problem. The internet is undefeated. The more they try to control the story, the more people dig deeper, exposing the truth. And if you love exposing the truth, hit that subscribe button right now. Here's another classic tactic. When things go south, play the victim. Meghan Markle went from being a strong, independent woman to suddenly being a victim of bullying, racism, and a smear campaign. Blake Lively faced backlash for It Ends With Us, from her styling to her attitude during promotion, so she flipped the script, painting herself as the victim of industry politics.
Is this extraordinary piece of the deranged PR campaign in Marie Claire magazine. And it is worth just sharing a little bit with you, Tash, and then getting your reaction. It's headlined, Meghan Markle's behind-the-scenes help made the biggest difference for Altadena Girls Fire release. And it speaks to the poor 14-year-old girl who's found this thing, who is essentially pumping out propaganda about Meghan Markle. Meghan is so incredibly kind. She was so excited to help, this poor girl says. She says, oh, it's just ridiculous that she just came and ran. You know, she dropped stuff off and she came with bags from her own closet. She was there multiple hours a day. And then, bizarrely, they claim that she even got something called stylist training so she could help the girls choose their outfits and accessories. And this poor young 14-year-old says for all the girls that were coming in, they got to be styled by Meghan Markle. They came in and just completely broke down. Now, the problem is, Tash, I don't trust any of this propaganda piece because it is written by the woman who I now describe as the new Omid Scobie. That's not a compliment, by the way. She's called Kristen Contino. She is the senior royal and celebrity editor for Marie Claire. But let's be honest, she's an American and that's fine, but she really doesn't know much about the British royal family. She's a fangirl, but she has sided with Harry and Meghan. She is slavishly loyal to these two because she wrote the much contested article. Do you remember, Tash, last year about Meghan and the Afghani women, which turned out to be a big fake because, in fact, she hadn't spent all of the time with the women and they were the same women who she had seen last year. So the fact that Meghan is now using a 14-year-old girl, basically pimping out a 14-year-old girl to Marie Claire to say positive things about her is quite extraordinarily grim.
The truth, neither of them are victims. They are power players who use PR strategies to manipulate public perception. But when people started asking the right questions, the house of cards began to crumble. Here's where it all backfired. People are no longer buying the carefully curated sob stories. Social media is exposing Meghan's fake humanitarian efforts, like her questionable wildfire relief.
The fact that they have now implied that it's Meghan who was crucial for this young girl, Avery, to be able to get this initiative off the ground. Meghan turned up a few days after lots of other celebrities had already donated. Kerry Washington, Gwyneth Paltrow, Ariana Grande, they had all given donations. Meghan's the only one to turn up and have her photograph taken in the car park as she arrived. And now it's Meghan is trying to take credit, really, for all of it. If it was the fact that Meghan went there and she had special stylist training and Meghan spent countless hours there. If she did spend countless hours there, why is there no videos? Why has no one taken photographs of it outside of those few photographs that were taken with her in the car park?
Stunt. Blake Lively's Hollywood connections are failing to protect her as insiders leak receipts contradicting her victim narrative. The lesson here: you can control the media, but you can't control the internet. And if you love seeing the truth come out, make sure you smash that like button. So, what's next for Meghan Markle and Blake Lively? Well, the cracks in their carefully crafted images are already showing. The more they try to manipulate the public, the more they get exposed. The question is, will the media keep protecting them, or is this the beginning of their downfall? Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you believe they're truly victims, or is this just another Hollywood PR stunt gone wrong? Before you go, don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into media scandals, Hollywood deception, and the truth behind celebrity PR games. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.